Hello, my friends. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. My name is Jason. This is the Outstanding Life Show. We talk about everything recovery related. We talk about addiction. We talk about mindfulness. There's quite a few things we cover in this show. But I wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate you for stopping by, spending your time with me. Today is actually a special day because it's the day before my birthday, my actual real birthday. I'm pretty stoked. I'm really excited. And so I'm working today and I work tomorrow, but then afterwards I'm done for a few days, a couple of days, I think. And I made a commitment so that on my days off, I can plan ahead. And with this show, I can get further and further ahead. So I'm setting up cool things like getting these show notes set up, and I'm preloading them in advance. And I'm setting it so in case you want to get the information or you want to go read what we're going to talk about, I've set it up on a blog. So in case you're interested in reading rather than watching, because I do get actually a lot of messages. I do get, you guys send me messages through Facebook, or you even go and reach me on the socials. But I do have it on YouTube for the videos. So all these recorded videos that get uploaded to YouTube later. But everything we talk about and all the discussions we make, I have them saved in show notes. And then those notes we can deliver to you by Facebook if that's what you're interested in. If so, you can if you're on Facebook, you can type in notes in the comments below and we'll have them sent out to you. And that's anytime. It doesn't matter if it's the real show like live or if you're watching the replay. And if you're watching on YouTube, you could go to the link above or down below, wherever it is, and it's outstanding.video/notes. And then we'll have the message sent out to you as well through Facebook Messenger. Now, I do have everything saved, so everything we talk about, those show notes, I have them saved on a web page, and then that's where the blog is. So every day has its own category, or every day has its own almost episode of notes. And I get a lot of engagement on there, more than I thought, like almost as much through the live views and the replays. I get a lot more data though on the longer form videos, but I gain a lot more engagement on the short form. So the drive and the passion for me was getting it all set up so I can have bite-sized content delivered more frequently. And then that's where this show comes in, the season 2. Season 1, I had nothing but heavy hitting, huge, long episodes. We're talking 30, 45 minutes. Some, early on, some of them even peaked an hour. So with an hour, it's not so bad. An hour's pretty good. But with these shows for the season 2, my goal is to have them 10 minutes. Get them out in 15 minutes, nothing crazy. And then by keeping them bite-sized, we'll be able to get them out there more often. And then to challenge myself even further, I decided let's take it up a notch, and then we're going to have themes. So we have 12 months in a calendar. So then why not have, because that goes along with the 12-step program, where we've got 12 months in a calendar. And we also have 12 steps. So the idea, this is a big idea. This is going to take me a long time to get there. But with every month, we'll go over each step. So step 1 for month 1, step 2 for step 2. And then throughout that whole month, we'll dive in deep in 10-minute increments, 15-minute increments, covering as much as we can about that step. So that by the time we finish the month, we would have gone over everything under the sun related to that step. And if we haven't answered that question by the time we're done, we have lots of questions you guys send me throughout as I do these shows, you guys message me, you ask me clarifying questions, I wasn't clear on something. And so I love the messages you send. I love the feedback you share. So again, if this is something you're interested in and you want to know more about, my name is Jason. This is the Outstanding Life Show. We talk about everything related to recovery, addiction, alcoholism, mindfulness. There's quite a few things we cover, but again, I wanted to reassure you that this is a safe place to share, to ask questions, to throw comments in. It means a lot to me. And so I appreciate you spending your time here. So today, what are we talking about? Today, we're talking about making mountains. Now, what do I mean by making mountains? I don't know about you, but for me, in the heat of my addiction, we talked about before, I would do things the hard way. If there was a challenging path to take, I'm the one who found it, because I'm the one that also trailblazed my way through the difficult path. Not because it was something I wanted to do, it was just something I just chose to do. I would take on these burdens that were unnecessary. It would be exhausting. And I would actually move forward with those decisions, and I would be exhausting to the people around me. It would be very difficult to be in my sphere of people, in my circle. So in my circle of friends, in my addiction, I wasn't surrounded by positive, supportive, loving people, and I was very strenuous in my relationships. I was very challenging. I almost had this us versus them mentality, like the fight or flight. And with that mentality, I would go around looking for that. I would go around anticipating I'm going to find a challenge. I would go around assuming that there's going to be a hurdle for me to jump over at the next corner. And as soon as I would turn a corner and then see a hurdle, I would use that as a way to reaffirm my belief that, that would warrant my apprehensiveness. That would validate my anxiety. And in hypertensiveness or hyper anxiety stage, in addiction, consuming alcohol and other drugs, it wasn't supportive. Like, it wasn't a safe place. I wasn't in a good spot. And it was crazy. And I kind of making mountains out of molehills, that's the topic of today. It built up to the point where, if you imagine there's so much challenge layered on top of more challenge, pretty soon it becomes unbearable. My life had become unmanageable. And no joke, no lie, my life needed to change. And it wasn't until things became, I almost want to say, an unbearable weight, that's when I started to look at, well, what's causing this pain? What's causing this trial or tribulation? And the shocking reality was, hey kitty, the shocking reality was that I was the source of my pain. I was, right? I know. And so when I'm the source of the pain, when I'm the one that's challenging, being put into a difficult position, and I'm the one that's creating the scenario leading up to it, I'd have no one else to blame but myself. I would have no one but my own anger and frustration and resentment that was being manifested. If you could choose to manifest anything in your life, wouldn't you want to manifest joy, abundance, appreciation, kitty, rather than anxiety, negativity? There's no wrong way to do it, but I certainly found the longest way to get here. And kudos to my friends and family for being patient with me, for taking the time to give me the chances I need, the chances after chances after chances to succeed. And it wasn't easy. It took a long, in full transparency, it took a long time. And it didn't need to take a long time, but I made it take a long time. And the sooner I checked my ego at the door, the sooner I moved forward and moved through, in a positive light, rather than looking for things that were angry, rather than looking for things that were upsetting, I would look for things to celebrate. I would look for ways to be grateful, and I would look for opportunities to take that chance to say, rather than prepare for something to happen, like that event crisis point we talked about, instead I would prepare myself for the trauma of success. You hear about race car drivers when they're driving really fast around the track, and then when they're spinning, and if they're spinning out of control, if they look and they shift their focus to the wall, their brain instinctively turns to go into the wall. So in my addiction, in the heat of my pain, I would focus on the pain and focus on more pain. And guess what would happen? I would create more pain. And then I would associate that to whatever it is was around me. I would say, it's the relationship I was in. It was the job I had. It was the friends I had. It was never my fault. And as soon as I let go of that perception, as soon as I allowed myself to be vulnerable, I was able to start living a life of gratitude. I was able to then, like an onion, I was able to peel off the layers of crap that had layered on it. And it wasn't anyone else that was able to do it. Like, I was the one that had to do it for myself. I was the one that unpeeled that layer. But it took time, it took effort, it took commitment. And it wasn't an overnight process. That's why I'm thankful there's 12 steps. Like, there's a whole program based around how to get there. And it's not done in a day. It's not done in a month. You know, there are some places you can go to that are 28 days. I chose one that was 9 weeks. For me, that treatment program was one of the best things that I led into my life. You know, I'm still committed to making the program succeed today, and I'm thankful. Okay, so if you're new here, again, my name is Jason. This is the Outstanding Life Show. We talk about recovery, addiction, we talk about alcoholism, everything under the sun. There's quite a few things we chat about, but if you enjoy what we're talking about, type notes in the comments, say hello if you're new here. And if you're watching on YouTube, typing in the notes won't work. So you're going to have to go to an address, and it's outstanding.video/notes, and then we'll have the notes sent out to you by Facebook Messenger. Okay, so in every one of these episodes, I wanted to make it fun. I wanted to have a gratitude of the day, but I also wanted to make it an actionable sense. Like, I just didn't want to be a data dump. I wanted it to be something we could move forward with, and I'm sharing with you what my takeaways are. And then if you want to join me on this, you're more than welcome to. And if you want to send me a message and let me know what your thoughts are on this, or what pieces of the show you enjoy the most, I'm open to that feedback. All right, so with the gratitude of the day, you know, I'm thankful that I have a higher power, and that my higher power is letting me know that living a life, like a simple life, can be more rewarding than a life that I create as challenge. And what do I mean by that? I mean that, you know, by showing me that I don't need to create mountains out of molehills, that I can take things as they are, and I don't need to make a big brouhaha out of this expectation I might have, or this ego that I'm carrying. Because as soon as I check that ego, as soon as I remove that expectation, that molehill is now only a molehill, and life becomes much simpler. And as soon as I wind down, as soon as I let go of it, and as soon as in another episode I shared radically open-minded, and if I'm radically transparent, I'm able to move forward in a positive light. I don't mean to say just let go of things and you'll be fine. No. What I am sharing, though, is get to the root of what you're feeling and being open to that transparency, not just with each other, like with your friends and family, but also with yourself. You know, it's okay to share with people how you're feeling, but really open up to yourself to find out what part of you is feeling this way. If I'm feeling anxious, what part of me is feeling anxious? If I'm feeling afraid, what part of me is afraid? You know, tomorrow's my birthday, and I'm pretty excited, but I also understand what part of me is feeling excited. I celebrate every day as a joy, and I look forward to the challenge that when it arrives. Earlier today, I was presented with a challenge, and I didn't expect it, but I was open to the idea of success, and I began to plan, how would I do this if I was to do it, and what can I do to make it happen? And then I would focus on the next right thing that I can do. And then I was able to get through today, despite how challenging it may have been. So, do things get challenging? Yes. Are there mountains? There are. But what I don't need is I don't need to make mountains out of molehills. So that's my gratitude of the day. So for my action of the day, today I'm going to list one thing that I can do right now to make my life easier. And then I'm going to share that. And so for me, if I haven't been open and honest with you so far, by checking my ego, by checking my expectation, but if I check myself before I wreck myself, because shotgun shells are pretty bad for the health. Okay, that was kind of cheesy, but you get what I'm saying. So again, if you're enjoying this and you like what we're talking about, let me know in the comments. Say hello. My name is Jason. This is the Outstanding Life Show. We talk about everything recovery related. I made this special broadcast because it's my birthday tomorrow. I'm pretty pumped. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. I look forward to every day, but tomorrow for me is a very special day. So thank you again for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you in another show, And let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know how your thoughts are on this. All right, take care. Bye.